You've probably seen this chart floating around online. Looks like a heat map or some kind of weird brain scan, and people are saying it explains everything about the left. It's colorful, it's confusing, but apparently it shows that conservatives care about family, friends, and neighbors, and liberals care about, well, literally everything. Including rocks. Yes, rocks. That's not a joke. The outer circles of the chart include plants, insects, and inanimate objects, and the left is out here scoring sky high on how much they care about them. One Reddit user said this chart finally explains why my liberal cousin cries about trees but doesn't know her neighbor's name. And you know what? There's a reason this chart took off, because it's not totally wrong, but the truth, it's a little more complicated, and a lot more revealing than the left wants to admit, so let's break it down. This chart comes from a 2019 study published in the journal Nature Communications. The researchers ran 7 different studies. 7. All to figure out what people care about and see if it differed by your politics. They had folks distribute 100 units of concern across different groups. Things like family, community, nation, the world, animals, and yes, even objects. Across the board, conservatives cared more about closer, immediate circles. Family, close friends, people in their town or country. Liberals, they went wide, real wide. They cared more about distant people, foreign nations, animals, and nature. Some even rated their concern for rocks higher than their concern for their own town. And look, we're not saying every liberal is out hugging trees and talking to rocks. Most of them do care about their families. But the chart shows a real pattern. Liberals spread their concerns so far and wide, they sometimes skip right over the people closest to them. This is why we end up with policies that ship billions overseas while our own cities crumble. It's why we bring in thousands of refugees before helping our own homeless vets. And it's why half the left thinks you're selfish for demanding $700 checks for Americans suffering from major natural disasters while sending $75 billion to a foreign country. In fact, the authors of the study lay out exactly this distinction in the introduction to their study. Here's what they said, in their own words.
In 2006, then Democratic Senator Barack Obama bemoaned the country's empathy deficit, telling college graduates, "I hope you choose to broaden and not contract your ambit of concern." In 2012, Republican presidential challenger Mitt Romney said, "President Obama promised to begin to slow the rise of the oceans and heal the planet. My promise is to help you and your family." The distinction between Obama and Romney captures the distinct worldviews of American political liberals and conservatives, respectively. Romney prioritized the family unit, whereas Obama highlighted the planet broadly. This difference in parochialism versus universalism became exacerbated during the 2016 presidential election, with one article noting, "Trump versus Hillary is the same as nationalism versus globalism, 2016, contrasting the more parochial Republican candidate with the more universalist Democratic candidate. Others have characterized the Trump administration's policy decisions as battles between nationalists, typified by parochialism, and globalists, typified by universalism. These differential tendencies toward parochialism and universalism on the political right and left, respectively, extend beyond the United States as well. For example, leading French right-wing politician Marine Le Pen declared in 2016, "The gap is not between the left and the right, but between globalists and patriots." The globalists are acting for the dilution of France and its people in a huge worldwide magma. The patriots hope that the nation constitutes the most protective space for the French. Across Western Europe, ideological battles between the left and right have centered on this tension between universalism and parochialism.
Now here's the catch. This chart doesn't show that conservatives don't care about nature or people from other countries. It shows they care more about what's right in front of them, which frankly makes a lot of sense. If your own house is on fire, you don't start watering your neighbor's flower bed. That's what's missing from so many hot takes on this chart. It's not a measurement of whether people care, it's a measurement of what they prioritize. And when the left prioritizes, well, everything, that effectively prioritizes nothing. And here's where it gets even better. There's a theory, and we love this, that some liberals expand their moral circle on purpose to avoid doing the hard work of taking care of real people. Because you know what's easier than helping your grumpy old dad fix his roof? Crying on Instagram about endangered penguins. You know what's easier than helping your neighbor? Preaching to the world about climate justice while leaving trash all over your apartment. Look, expanding your moral circle to include the entire universe can sometimes be a convenient way to wiggle out of your actual responsibilities. It's moral outsourcing. You feel righteous, but you don't have to do anything messy or hard, like disciplining your own kids or showing up for your community. So yeah, go ahead, care about the planet, love the trees, name your houseplants if that makes you happy, but don't act superior while ignoring your family, your town, your country. Start local, make your bed, help your neighbor. You'd be amazed how much good you can do without needing to sponsor a goat in Nepal. So what do you think? Is this chart spot on? Are liberals spreading their empathy so wide they forgot to care about America? Or is this all just a big overreaction? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Conservative Direct, where we say what you're already thinking, but louder.